right to equality. Now, I am dealing with various aspects of right to equality. Article 14, we have seen Article 15. Now, I am coming to Article 16, its meaning and scope. Okay. Article 16, its various dimensions or its meaning and scope. See, as I mentioned earlier also, India is a country of lot of inequalities. That is why we have a series of provisions for maintaining or bringing in equality. We have historic injustice. Historically, we have failed, or rather there is a series of inequalities in our country, our caste system, and discrimination based on religion. So many things happen in our country. So we want to erase everything in one go through this constitution. It's a very difficult task. That is why we are writing too many things about this. Repeatedly we are writing all are equal, no discrimination only on this basis, that basis. So we have seen Article 15, no discrimination only on the basis of religion, caste, sex, race, place of birth. Now again we are writing in Article 16, in case of employment, there shall be no discrimination. Once again we are going back to the same thing. So first we said there shall be no discrimination. Now we are saying in case of employment, we are specifically making it once again more clearer. So Article 16, equality of opportunity. Equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. In matters of public employment. Equality of opportunity in matters, that is the heading. Now Article 16(1) says there shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens relating employment or appointment to any office under the state. So 16(1) says there shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens, again for all citizens, in case of or in matters relating to employment, in matters relating to employment or appointment, in case of employment or appointment to any office under the state, to any office under the state, to any office under the state. So we are very clear for public employment, for government employment, equality of opportunity to all citizens, matters related to employment or appointment to any office under the state. That is Article 16(1). Then Article 16(2). Now we are saying no citizen on grounds of, no citizen on grounds of religion, once again caste, sex, race or place of birth. Same 5 points in Article 15 we are repeating. No citizen on grounds of religion, caste, sex, race or place of birth shall be discriminated or shall be declared ineligible. Place of birth or residence, descent. So some more, place of birth, descent. So religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, descent, residence, or any of them shall be ineligible or discriminated against in respect of any employment or office under the state. So we are making it more clear. 16(1) already said there shall be caste, sex, race, place of birth, descent or residence, or any of them be declared ineligible for public employment. But There is an, in 16.2 they also add that, but state is free to. State means the country, the state is free to fix or specify qualifications. The state is free to specify qualifications and there can't be any other ground. Okay. So 16.2 says no specifically. So first 16.1 says there shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in public employment. Then we say only on the basis of religion, caste, sex, race, place of birth, descent or residence, a person shall not be discriminated. Now 16.3 onwards exceptions will begin. 16.2, then 16.3 exceptions. Now 16.3 it says residence can be a criteria. Residence can be a criteria if historically from this region people are not represented in the government for historic reasons. See, many states, say for example in Kerala, most of the people in government are from Travancore, Kochi. Later on, Malabar region was added. So, historically, people from Malabar region are not represented in the government. So, there can be some consideration. Or in Telangana region, say in the former Andhra Pradesh, Telangana was not, or in Karnataka, for example, another example I would like to give, Karnataka. Karnataka was formed, the state, the Mysore state, then subsequently the Karnataka state was created by the kingdom of Mysore, then Madras province, Bombay province, and Hyderabad, Karnataka, Nizam's Hyderabad, Karnataka. So, in government, it is found that people from the Hyderabad, Karnataka region is comparatively less, because they were with the Nizam side. Now with the Karnataka government it is not there. So there can be reservation for them on historic ground. So we are saying there can be, there is an exception. Residence can be a criteria. People from a particular locality can be preferred or can be given some reservation, some benefit, because historically they were not represented in the government for many decades or always, or rather we could see historically they were never represented at all. So Article 16.3 talks about residence can be a criteria. Then coming to 16.4. 16.4 deals with the, from special provisions, reservation for backward classes. Special provisions for backward classes. That means reservation for socially and educationally backward classes if they are not adequately represented in service. Special provisions for backward classes if in the opinion of the state, they are not adequately represented. So there can be reservation for socially or any backward class if they are not adequately represented according to the state. So 16.4's wording is different from 15.4. There it was socially and educationally backward, very clearly mentioned. Here it is any backward class if not adequately represented in the government, then there can be special provision for them. 16.4. 16.5. 16.5 deals with religion can be a ground. Religion can be a ground for discrimination or identification, can be a ground for religious institutions taken over, for the appointment of religious institutions taken over by the state. For the religious institutions taken over by over by the state. See, for example, see, many of the temple administrations are done by the government. Say Tirupati temple, Tirupati, Tirumala Devasthanam, TTD. Now, Tirupati temple's administration is controlled by the state through a trust, but there can be restrictions on employment in that trust. They can always insist that only Hindus can be employed in this because it is a Hindu religious organization run by the state. So, religion can be a criteria if it is to run a religious institution taken over by the state. So, that is 16.5. And then there is 16.6. That is through the Constitutional Amendment Act 103, Third Amendment Act, and economic reservation. Okay, that is 16.6 is for economic reservation, state for the economically backward sections, economically weaker section. That is the word used for the economically weaker sections not covered under 16.4, not covered under 16.4. 16.4 is about scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBCs. So, those economically weaker not covered under 16.4 can be provided with 10% reservation in jobs. 10% reservation in jobs. So, we are crossing that 50%. The way I said in Article 15, the same thing is applicable here. So, 16.6, 103rd Amendment Act. 103rd Amendment Act. But in between, we had two more clauses added. One is 16.4a. 16.4a, that is about reservation in promotion. There can be reservation in promotion for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. I will be talking about 16.4a elaborately, separately, but please remember Article 16.4a is about matters of reservation in promotion. So, there can be reservation in promotion for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes according to Article 16.4a. Similarly, there is Article 16.4b. See, in the Supreme Court has said that reservation should not cross 50%. Okay, Supreme Court in Indira Swani case said that the reservation, the upper limit is 50%. But what happened is that in many cases, when the recruitment take place, especially in the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe category, that particular category, the vacancies were not filled. See, suppose 15% reservation for scheduled caste, say 100 seats are there, 15 seats should go to scheduled caste. In a particular recruitment, only 10 people got selected, 5 did not come or either they did not join. So, that 5 seats, that vacant seats will get accumulated, but that vacancy cannot be treated among the general category. That is what the government's argument is. So, that otherwise what will happen, never this 15% will never reach. So, Article 14b or 16.4b, it says that if if there is an unfilled vacancy in a particular year, if 16.4b, this is for an unfilled vacancy in a particular year, which was reserved, unfilled, which is reserved, which is not filled, and when it is to be filled in the succeeding year, if it is to be filled subsequently, so at that time this 50% limit cannot be applied, because see, I said there are 15 vacancies for scheduled caste, for example, only 10 were filled, 5 people did not turn up, so 5 seats remain vacant. Now, for this 5, the government can do a separate recruitment thing. There can be separate recruitment drive applied in such special drives. So, Article 16 4B says that the limit of 50%, the limit of 50% will not be applied in such drives. There is a special drive by the government to fill those unfilled vacancies. In such a scenario, this 50% or the limitation, the ceiling of 50% is not applicable in that kind of special drives. That is Article 16 4B. So, 16 4B is for filling the unfilled vacancies of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC quota. And during that time, when if the government is running a special drive for these communities, at that time the 50% quota or the 50% ceiling is not applicable. That is Article 16 4B. So, once again I am repeating, 16 1 says for it is equality in opportunity. 16 1 it says that there is equality of opportunity in public employment. Then says there shall be no discrimination. 16(2) says there shall be no citizen can be discriminated only on the grounds of religion, caste, sex, race, residence, place of birth, descent, etc. Then exceptions will begin. 16(3) says residence can be a criteria if historically from this region people are not represented in employment, in public employment. 16(4) there can be special provisions for backward classes, but this 16(4) is different from 15(4), we will see that. And if they are not adequately represented according to the government. 16(5) religion can be a criteria if the institutions are taken over by the state. 16(6) economically weaker sections who are not covered under under 16(4), they can be given 10% reservation. So, basically economically weaker from the general category can be given 10% reservation. Then 16(4)(a), reservation in promotion can be there for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. I will talk about that elaborately. And 16(4)(b), that special recruitment drives can be done for filling the vacancies in the reserve category, but at that time the 50% ceiling is not applicable. That is 16(4)(b). So, these are the various dimensions of Article 16.